Alright, so I wanted to kind of show the unboxing and first use of this fine item here. This is the xTool AnyScan, and this is the A30M. This is the device itself. Very nice, like the weight of it feels good, the build quality is good, it's got a little cover there. And neatly enough, it doesn't work right now because I'm sure this thing has been in the package for a bit, but there's the little buttons. I don't know if you can hear them, and there's little lights in there. I've never used this thing before, so let's discover it together, shall we? Alright, so you can see she's kind of just dangling in there because my connector is loose. But now I'm going to pull my phone here, and we're going to see. Sorry, the car is not super clean. One of the baskets from the trunk is in here with me. Alright, now we're going to get in. You can see she's not running or anything. I've got a Windows or an Android phone here, so I'm going to try to connect it for the first time. You guys are going to get to see me do this. Come on, Bluetooth. We're going to turn Bluetooth on. I'm going to pair a new device. Let's see what comes up. This thing says that it's got 20 features, which it can actually do some activities. I'm going to pair it. Okay. Don't mind my big messy phone here. So I'm going to pop open my AnyScan app. Let's see. Settings. Bluetooth. It's going to be that one. Okay. Can't quite get to that drop down. Alright, let's try again. This is Asia. Hyundai. Hey, there you go. So you got to go into settings first and select the Bluetooth you want to connect to. I now see down here by my foot, if you can see it, there's a blue light on with the red light. Alright, it does appear to have connected. I'm going to go to a manual selection. This is a US car. It's the Genesis BH. Right there. It is a 2009 first gen. And it has the 4.6. And let's just let it scan. Ooh, ECM has a fault. Alright. It's going through, scanning all the stuff. I wasn't aware that the car had a fault at this point. I'm going to pause it here, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to see if I can see what the ECM fault is. I'm going to read the trouble codes. Oh, low voltage. Yeah, that was because the battery died last week. On the car, because I was working on it, and I guess the kids were playing in it while I was working on it, and something got left on. I'm going to clear that and see if it returns. It didn't. Good. Alright, so we're good. Now I wanted to check this. It says that it can do two-way communication with the computer, and right here, actuation tests. What do we want to try? Okay, this is simple enough. Engage the cruise lamp. Alright, so engine running. And so I'm going to start the car. And I do have a low tire, which we're going to try to get fixed this weekend. Right here, and I am going to push this button right here. So watch for our cruise light to come on. And there it is. And again, I'm going to push the stop button. Well, we know our cruise control light works. So there's probably lots of cool things this thing can do. I'm unaware during this video whether you can hear the engine running, but I do know that cylinder 7, I think the fuel injector or the ignition on cylinder 7 is having some problems, and she's not running super well, and it's the only cylinder. When I disable the cylinder, see, she runs a little bit rougher, but not fundamentally different, and that means, there you go. I don't know if you guys could see that. I'm going to watch the RPMs real carefully when I do this, and I'm going to hit start to disable the injector on cylinder 7. You notice there's no movement. Now I'm going to do it on a different injector. I'm going to do it on cylinder 6. As you can see, it is cylinder 6 right there. And I'm going to hit start, and let's see if the RPMs move. Oh yeah, see, that is a very different feeling in the car. The RPMs didn't move, but the effect on the engine is significant. When I do this with 7, it doesn't have much of a change, which means I'm not firing real well on 7. It's not enough to get a misfire, but this is another example of the really cool diagnostics you can do with these two-way scanners. And this one is actually pretty cheap, and it's Bluetooth, so you can do it from your phone. You don't need a tablet, which I do have one of the xTool products, and I love it, and they've been great about support on that product. I actually recoded the ECM on this car, or excuse me, the ESC on the car, the stability control, and they were able to fix a problem that it was having where it wouldn't code the variant properly. They actually put an update on my device and fixed it. But this is the A30M. It has a significant number of actuation tests, which are really cool. All right, this thing also has super cool features. Like any of these you can show live data from, which is really nice. Tire pressure monitoring. Right now you can see I've got a low tire pressure. So I'm just going to go to live data on tire pressure monitoring for the car. And okay, so it shows a few things, the battery values. I'm going to scroll down until I get to, there you go. Here's our sensors. Front left is number 1, 36 PSI. This shows front right is low. So this is actually sensor 2. There you go, 19 PSI. That is much too low. I've got to go figure out why that tire's losing air and fix it. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the support that I've had from this company. I own a different xTool scan. It's like a tablet, and it does a lot of this stuff, and I bought it because I needed it. So I replaced the HCU in this vehicle because I was getting some really weird, ABS would trigger, and then suddenly the pedal would be falling to the floor like it was in bypass. I think the valves were sticking inside. It was a recall 20 years ago with this car. I replaced the HCU and I had to bleed it. And then once you're done replacing it, you have to code the variant into this electronic, the stability control. I couldn't do it. The scanner didn't do it. It just had an error every time. I emailed xTool and I told them, hey, I need to do this function on this car. And I gave them the VIN and I gave them the information for me purchasing the thing, so they knew I was legit. They emailed me back and said it's late here because it is, we're over in China. And would you be okay with us calling you at 9 p.m.? They dialed into my scanner using a remote connection. They threw an update on it. It didn't work. They said, okay, let's go to the engineers and check with them. 3 days later, I got another email back. They sent another update to my scanner, and at 9 p.m. they connected and watched the logs while I did this. It worked. They updated my machine. Guess what? I was able to do it. And look, there's no ABS lights. Yeah, there's a TPMS light, but like I showed you, that tire's low. The support, the after-sales support for these systems are fantastic. Really couldn't recommend it enough. I don't think if you go to Maxi or somebody else and you have a problem with their scanner and one of the functions doesn't work, or you can't do something you wanted to do, I don't think you're going to get this kind of support. Anyway, I think it's worth the money. This is like an hour of labor at a shop to buy this thing, and it will save your bacon. And you've already probably got a phone. So anyway, this is the xTool AnyScan A30M.